Chivalry is dead. The role of gender roles. Sam has a public service announcement for the people.
Chivalry is for broke niggas.
Oh, God.
It's done.
What does that even
It's
mean?
done. Alright, I'm gonna break it straight down. Right? So it used to be the standard for what a man was, right? But how many people do you see not open doors? How many people do you see not put their coat down for women across the street? Some people don't even walk on the outer side of the sidewalk anymore. Because it's become a society where if you got enough money, you can do whatever you want. You can have 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 girlfriends and nobody says anything to you because of the green. So it's like it's come a situation where you can buy pretty much whatever you want, even a relationship. So you don't need to do these little things anymore to show somebody that you really care.
To impress her.
Yeah, to impress her. She's not impressed by that anymore.
Your money
it's not impressive.
I hear you.
It's
I
not
hear
impressive.
You. I don't know if I don't like that thought.
It's absurd.
You know what I'm saying?
That thought process is absurd.
You know,
I don't like
everybody
it
know
either.
the saying, you don't treat the janitor.
You say you don't like it, but it's the truth.
I don't like it, but it's the truth.
That's
This
what
the
he said.
truth?
I don't like
it.
it.
It is. Is it true?
No, it's not
true.
true. It's
Look,
not true
but
that
don't
women still don't want to be
Exactly.
respected. And in essence, that's what chivalry is. Chivalry is just saying, hey, I want to protect you. I want to respect you. That's why I'm going to open the door. You shouldn't have to do that. If it's rain, I don't want you to get wet. Of course, we're going to stand on this side of the street. So some debris comes up, I can be the first one to get it because I am your protector.
Right.
That is what chivalry is. And regardless of...
Is it absurd if the woman doesn't hold him responsible to do that?
Yep.
Because let me tell you what happened. I'm in Richmond. I'm in Richmond, right?
They won't let us finish.
You know,
they want to get
No, let me get back. Let me get back.
So basically...
So you know the umbrella that the little kids wear, where it kind of encapsulates them a little bit. This man had 3 daughters and a wife. He had that umbrella in the rain and was walking, and his woman ain't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
A month ago, the woman was limping to get out the driver's seat to pump her own gas.
Yeah.
And the dude is in the car bobbing his head, chilling,
Yeah.
reclined back. So is it absurd if the woman doesn't hold them the man? I'm very chivalrous.
If
I feel
she
like
do better, she'll do better.
I feel like they should. I feel like chivalry men should be chivalrous, but in today's time, is it transitioning into a different landscape?
I think it's being forced just due to the family breakdown.
Okay.
Like those women that you just spoke of, I would like to know how they were raised.
Right.
Because the way my wife was raised, she's not gonna she's not gonna get out and pump the gas and I sit in the car. Because that's foreign to her, right?
You shouldn't even. And for you, I know, knowing you, you don't even want her to get out and pump the
Absolutely not.
gas.
And my daughter, the way my daughter is raised, there are there are certain standards and certain bars that have been raised in her life as an 8-year-old that she's just not like. So whoever she's dating will have to be chivalrous.
Oh, for sure.
So again, like I think that a lot of times women that don't demand that from their spouse, and not to hog or take up this whole time, but the woman that doesn't demand that is the woman that has never seen that. She didn't see it regularly enough for her to understand that this is how you're supposed to be treated. You know what I'm saying?
Also, to your point, I think something that we need to talk about is why is it always up to men to be chivalrous in relationships? You know, why is it always up to us?
Who's getting that?
I think women are chivalrous too, though.
Because but being chivalrous is a gender role.
That's what I was going to go
And
with.
so but you can't be an oxymoron and you can't be hypocritical as a woman to say that I don't want to cook and clean because that's a gender role and I'm not conforming to that. But you want a man to be chivalrous and you want him to play into his gender role. So you have to be fair in the relationship itself.
You want this wedding, you want this ring, you want me to go wash your
But
car,
I'm not
you want me
cooking
to
and
change your
cleaning
oil
because
in your car, you know what I'm saying? So
that's a gender role, right? And so like, as men, it's your responsibility if you are in a relationship to check your woman. But even before you even get into a relationship, you should already know what her expectations of you are before you all even get into a relationship.
But see, society has blurred. I'm sorry, Bon. I'm gonna let you.
That's why we
Society has blurred the gender lines and what are the roles of the gender. And I'm not going to get too much into that because I'm not going to get in trouble on this. But I will say, society has blurred the lines of what's demanded from each gender. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think our generation, as crazy as it sounds, we're challenging all norms on all fronts. In regards to relationships, what a relationship should look like, what is considered normal. So even down to gender roles, that's the first thing I'm thinking. That's why I hope, like you said, dudes and women take the time to be like, yo, this is the type of energy I'm on. I'm expecting you to open up the door for me. And if the person's not doing it, then you're just not rocking with that.
Yeah.
But I have seen the hypocritical stance in that.
And that's why
Question
I said
for everybody.
that.
It's also, if a woman tells you you're the man of the house, you need to take care of all the bills. That is a gender role, correct?
Correct.
So how do you agree or disagree with that statement?
So my question is, as a businessman, my rebuttal is, so for me, this is the thing. For me, a relationship is a partnership.
Absolutely.
We're in this together,
Teamwork.
this unit work together. So
Right.
if I'm covering this landscape, then what are you doing on your landscape?
I agree with that.
That's my thing.
Yep.
So if you just to get me, if I'm going to take care of the bills and the car payment and all the financial things, cool. But baby, what value are you bringing to me in the home, whatever you're doing?
Because
Taking off my plate.
Phil Jackson couldn't go tell Jordan, all right, you're going to go score all the points tonight.
Well, he didn't
Don't
have
worry
to
about
tell
what
him
Scotty doing. Don't worry about what Robin doing. That ain't none of your business.
Right.
But you need to go score all the points tonight. That logic
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
See, the problem too is people have these fantasized dreams of what relationships are.
Tell us,
And
you're a
every
married man, tell
relationship-
us.
Yes, every relationship is different. Like, as it goes to my house, I'll take care of the rent. The wife takes care of the other bills, right? And in our house, as far as the taxable income, my wife makes more than I make, right? So you the head of the household, but I understand, welcome, and appreciate the gender role of head of household and
Yep.
protector and provider of my household.
You
know what I'm
don't
saying?
have to. You don't have to make more money than your wife to be the head of your household.
No, you do not.
Right.
Because it technically shouldn't have anything to do with
It
money.
should not have
See,
anything.
this is a situation where he's secure with it. You have a lot of males who are not secure with
Right.
it, and they will look at these gender roles like, hey, I'm the man of the house, but you're not being the man of the
Right.
house. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking at it by like his standards and terms. And I think it's really a feeling, like the whole chivalry thing. Like if we both can be chivalrous to each other, then we'll have a perfect relationship, which doesn't exist. But we can have like a high standard to where we can have less fighting, more love. I'm opening doors for you. You cooking for me. I'm cooking for you. Like it's just going back and forth. We in tandem, so the energy is just going.
You know,
My question though is, in regards to women being chivalrous to men, does it always have to relate to them cooking and cleaning?
No, it
No,
doesn't.
not at all.
Right. My wife, we've all seen the movie. I can't think of the name of it right now, but y'all gonna remember it in a second.
Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale. My wife does it from off
Already
the
know.
rip. Off the
Reaching
rip.
over the, oh
But
yeah.
she still does that.
Yeah.
Like if we're in the
Yeah.
rain and I go and open her door
Yeah.
and I close her door, by the time I get to my door,
Yeah.
she's reaching over and
Yeah.
pushing,
Yeah.
making sure.
I've been in a relationship with that.
I done had a girl almost
That's
fall.
crazy.
Almost fall.
That's
I've never
chivalry,
experienced it
bro.
because
I've experienced it before. It's nice.
I was
It's very nice. It's very nice.
I gotta tell you something.
It's nice.
I went today, y'all. I went and got in the car, and I thought something was going on with my car door that wouldn't open. So when I'm sitting there and I see her standing outside, I'm like, oh, my bad. And I hit the door, open it up, and she let the door close. I'm like, oh, I gotta go open up the door. But when I went
I
back
don't
to
like
my
that
side,
kind of crap.
yeah, when I went back to my side, she didn't pop the door open for me. Like, so it's amazing how we just,
And see, and that's why,
That's somebody who's selfish.
and that's why I kind of
Yeah.
say chivalry is dead, because the people who appreciate chivalry are older women. I open a door for somebody and I'll get an older woman and say, yo, I love that. I love seeing that. But it's unappreciated by people now.
So you saying that you open the door from a girl of our generation and she don't even say thank you?
No.
I told you. I
Thank
said
you?
this on
In
another
2020?
on another podcast.
What?
I don't remember which episode it was, but you can search Black Fly on the Wall and you can see. But I said on another podcast that we had in this very room, like I had a girl when I was in high school that didn't want me opening her car door for her. She just did. She was independent. She didn't want
That's
that
the thing
chivalry.
right there. That makes our whole culture sick. You know what I'm saying? This whole independent thing, it tears the family down. The family dynamic. I'm not coming at any individual women, but I'm like, you know, as a root, we want to be grounded. You know what I'm saying? We need to start from some foundation where we can build up. And if we like, I'm here and you're there and we're not equal, then we're not going to mesh.
And I think this again just plays into the gender roles that we have in society where, you know, a man can't even be a man and a woman can't even really be a woman because
Exactly.
it's all self-defined, right? And then to that point, you know, why are we depending on other people outside of our relationship in society? Why are we letting that define what our relationship looks like?
You should set your own
Exactly.
rules for what your relationship is.
Exactly.
If in your relationship, your wife wants to pay for the mortgage and she wants to make the car payment,
Let her.
and you all decide, and that's, as a matter of fact, that's y'all business.
Exactly.
Who you gotta explain that to?
Facts. Nobody.
Nobody should even
That's what I'm
know.
saying,
but
though.
there's the key component here. When you start tying in religion and
Yeah.
beliefs, that's when that gets mixed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which interpretation, but I do agree with you though. We gotta do
Because I mean, you paying the mortgage has nothing to do with you being the head of your household. You being the head of your household, Dot, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is about being a leader and setting a good example.
It depends on who you married to, bro. Because if you married to that woman and say, you ain't gonna be talking to me any kind of way, you don't even make enough money, they got that yet.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? And see, people, and see,
He responsible for that.
but not necessarily because
He
people,
knew she was like that before he
but
married her.
people get in toxic relationships like that. We've normalized that type of toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Like it's okay for you to, somebody talks to you like that. You go back and you undercut them with something that hurts worse. You know what I'm saying? Versus therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like where you can go and someone can actually teach you how to communicate your emotions. Like many times growing up, especially as black men, we don't learn how to communicate our emotions. Because the emotions that we're taught to have is be angry or be happy.
Or
That's
shut up and bottle your emotions.
You don't
That's it.
work out
You can't be
relationships as
sad.
a black man.
No.
Growing up, it's
You
like,
get over it, or you put it under the rug type joint, or you fight, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to actually sit down and have dialogue and say, yo, you hurt my feelings. I hurt your feelings. How did I hurt your feelings? You hurt my feelings by da-da-da. Well, those weren't my intentions. I apologize. We don't have those types until we get to a certain age. So you see so much toxic behavior as you're growing up that you think that's what you're supposed to deal with.
I didn't even want to pull this word out, but the feminist movement, you know what I'm saying? I've actually had a woman tell me, like, I'm not going to submit to you. I'm like, I didn't ask you to submit to me. I'm like, yo, just help. You know, meet me halfway or not even half because, you know, me doing everything, I can do it. I can be Superman, but I just want somebody who appreciates me as well. Or if I'm giving you all the love, you can like love me in an area where I'm not seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I could use a little bit of that. So we can be submissive to each other.
Right. And I'll say this, and they may want to stone me for it, but
Oh,
I feel
God.
like the feminine movement has lost a lot of it is out of its framework now. Whereas the movement started off as something positive to empower women, to allow women to have a voice, to no more slut shaming and things like that. But now people are weaponizing feminism and using it towards men as if there's no more submission. Because the thing about it is, like, it's all relationships are all about balance, right? Like, a man can't ask a woman to submit to him if he's not submitting to her.
Absolutely.
So, like, there has to be balance on you doing it for her and her doing it for you.
Why does that even have to be a conversation? For somebody to say that, like how you said relationships are toxic, why do you have to say to me, I'm not going to submit to you?
Yeah.
Because people are battling their own demons.
Yeah, demons and
That's
experiences.
an internal demon to where they identify and they tell themselves periodically all the time that they are no longer going to submit to a man. So without you even asking them about submission, they telling you what they're going to do and they don't even know you.
Defensive.
They're defensive.
And defensive.
So
And that's just society, man. Like the
all it is.
nature of how women have been raised. Like not even just black women, just women in general. Like they've always been treated as the secondary. You know, they've always been treated as okay, you submit to your master. Like, and again, to your point about religion in the Bible, like this is just further reinforced through Christianity. You know what I mean? And so women have gotten to a point where I feel like they're sick of it. They're like, okay, we're not submitting because it's gotten to the point where they feel like they're taken advantage of, not even necessarily submitting and helping and receiving something back. Like they're just exclusively being taken advantage of, and they've reached a point where they're like, okay, enough is enough.
Like,
why does submiss? Go ahead, Sam.
we've all seen the post where it says, "Have a man describe a wife, and he'll describe a slave." You know what I mean? I think that goes back to that's crazy. But the thing is, like you said, with the feminist movement, anything against the feminist movement is misogynistic.
Right. That's not right.
There's a reason that these women were like the wife was messing with the milkman. And it wasn't because he was making money. It was because of the way he treated her. It was the way he respected her. Like you said, I don't think chivalry is a thing that women don't want. But like you said, I don't think it's a thing that they hold to a standard anymore either.
Because they don't have a blueprint for it. Though.
Exactly, because they haven't seen it.
I think the feminist movement. Who's the head of the feminist movement? Just people, whoever wants to hop in on social media and define what feminism is. Amber Rose is the spirit.
She's a spirit animal.
That explains a lot of it, though,
The
right?
feminist movement killed chivalry single-handedly.
Yeah. Because the thing about it is you can't. Let me see how I articulate this. If you want something from somebody, the way to get it is not by kicking them while they down or going at their character. Like your grandma always told you, like you can attract more flies with honey than vinegar. So whereas you want something good from somebody, whether it's the person at the post office, the UPS man, somebody at Chick-fil-A, whatever it may be, you're gonna get more so what you want out of that situation by being nice. You know what I'm saying, and being positive.
What you put in.
So coming like so women channeling that I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, we ain't got to do this, we ain't got to do that, we ain't got. you may meet somebody where you don't mind being submissive to that person, but you can't blanket that statement and say what you are going to do and what you're not going to do.
But they can, because, and that's why I said chivalry's for broke niggas. Because what did Cardi said? I don't cook, I don't clean, but I got that ring. She doesn't have to cook and clean because she can hire chefs and she can hire maids.
Right.
So as long as you provide a certain standard of living that they're okay with, you can get away with stuff.
That's a pivotal point, because is it always, because can you always trace it back to living situations?
But I don't think you can always trace it back to monetary situations. Chivalry has nothing to do with money. Yes, it does when your idea of getting your car clean for you. I get that. And if I don't want to get it clean, I can go take it to Auto Bell, get somebody to clean it. I do that.
But they appreciate it whenever you offer to go get it clean.
Period. It's the time. Chivalry is basically showing that I'm putting you before myself in whatever situation we're in. And it doesn't always mean money. Like we talk about opening the door. That doesn't cost you a dime. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about you walking on one side of the street. Like I do that subconsciously because I've always done it. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause if something if a car pops up, God forbid, I'd rather them take me out than take you out. You know what I'm saying? That type of thought process. So that to me has always been the definition of chivalry.
What about appreciation though? Like, and I want you to explain it because you're married. I'm not married, but like the appreciation for opening the door, the appreciation for doing those chivalrous acts, I think is lost.
It makes you want to do more.
Yeah, it makes you want to do it.
When a woman appreciates what you do,
Yeah.
it makes you want to go harder. And
For sure.
Because that's a word of affirmation, right? Whenever somebody says, you know, B-Dot, thank you for opening the door for me. You know, you're always protecting the family, yada yada yada. That makes you feel good internally as a man. And you know what? I'm gonna go do more.
That's the whole thing about this whole chivalry thing. It feels good, and that's like we all know what
It does
energy
feel good
does.
to be
You know what I'm
chivalrous.
saying? For you to be nice to somebody, it's not. I love the way my lady feel like if I give her roses and I see big smile on her face.
Absolutely.
If I cook her dinner and she got big smiles.
Absolutely.
If I cook dinner and then she just overlooks it, get her roses, and she like, what you do that for? Overlook it, and I'm like, yo, you not surprised by this? Or get her favorite candy. You know what I'm saying? You just pop up with it, and to see somebody glow in that sense, it's nothing like it.
But see, here's something that's very important though. Why did you get her flowers? If she looked over those flowers, then you have to ask yourself, why did she look over those? Maybe flowers ain't her thing. Like
And
my
that's
wife
true,
don't
too.
like flowers. So if I get her some flowers, she's gonna say thank you, but I can tell that don't really.
She wanted that edible arrangement instead.
Not necessarily. See, like you gotta know this is something that I learned. You have to know your spouse's love language,
Facts.
right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
was just about to go there.
And my wife's love language is acts of service. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if she comes home and I didn't vacuum the floor, that's worth its weight in gold. If she come home, if she just got through cooking and she sit down, y'all food is ready, and I make the kids' plates or I wash the dishes and put the food up, and she don't have to do it. Oh, So like, knowing some people, yours it might be gifts. So from that, she might want flowers or a nice little bag or something, but don't mix up. Like, but
Well,
see,
it could be quality time.
My love language with her love language. Yeah.
No,
You
have to know that, bro, because you could be doing things that's your love language.
Yep.
Getting her things that will make you smile,
that's not
and it don't make
everything.
her smile, and now you're feeling some kind of way.
Right.
I've been in that situation before and had to switch it up, and it threw me off guard. And I'm like, yo, this don't do anything for you. And I'm thinking the same way. I'm like, this is the stuff that I want, and I would like.
You should like it too.
I like surprises. I feel like everybody likes surprises. And it's like, yo,
Right.
really, I'm big on words and hearing like how you feel about me and that kind of compassion.
So
I'm
she
like,
like hear handwritten notes.
Yep.
Like my wife like notes. You know what I'm saying? Like I can get her a card from Hallmark, but if I write it,
It means
like it means a lot more to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, like knowing your woman's love language will be able to aid in your chivalry.
Yeah.
You
And
know
to
what I'm
your
saying?
point, Dot, about like just people being different and people understanding their person, you know, understanding how their relationship is working, you cannot change the way a woman thinks. You know what I mean? And a lot of it also has to do with how they were raised. You know what I mean? Like I saw how my dad treated my mom, you know, so I know how to treat a woman. I know this is what a woman wants, and maybe not every woman, of course you can't blanket those statements, but in general, she wants a man that supports her. She wants somebody that cares about her. She wants somebody that treats her right. She wants somebody that shows her respect when they're by themselves and when they're, you know, with other people. Exactly. They just want honesty.
But the fellas got to be responsible too by making sure they choose people that are appreciative of the things that they do.
Exactly.
So you can't complain. Like, no, you're not a prisoner in a relationship. Hopefully she ain't got no gun in your head. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can't complain like she doesn't like this, she's not appreciative, she doesn't say thank you. You chose to be in that situation.
Exactly.
And you can get out of it by simply chucking the deuces and moving on. But men have to be a lot more responsible and making sure that they're choosing and they're teaming up with somebody who's on the same wave as them.
It's all in communication, man. Like you have to be able to, again, effectively communicate your emotions to your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if something isn't, see what we would tend to do, P, is you get her some flowers, she don't like them. So what you do, you talking to the homies, man, I brought her some money, this man.
Like
So
that.
now you're on Instagram and now, you know what I'm saying, now your eyes is wandering where in that moment it should have been a conversation between y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotta
And you
my
get
feelings was-
DMs
my
like,
feelings was
oh,
hurt
that
a
was so
little bit
sweet.
when you responded like that to the flowers.
But I think
You know what I'm saying?
I think you being vulnerable in that moment allows her to also be vulnerable.
Exactly.
And then y'all can have
Exactly.
y'all can share a moment of intimacy
Exactly.
by both being vulnerable.
She had to explain to me like flowers ain't my thing. If you would have got me food, I would have felt different.
For real, man. You like, I bet.
When in doubt, always go food.
Always.
That's
Just
what I
eat.
think, though. Honestly, like when you look at it, from my perspective, what I've observed, I think if you want a relationship to really work and a partnership to work, from the marriages I've seen for a long period of time, you sort of have to abandon gender roles a little bit. And the reason why I say this is because I know my father had like back surgery at one point in time, so my mother had to transition to be the one take care of the home financially, and he had to be the one washing the clothes, cooking the dinner. And I know if he ain't do that, bro, with 4 kids, like that marriage is not going to keep going. So I think sometimes that's why I think the conversation is really good, because should we still hold on to gender norms, or gender roles? Excuse me.
I think you can drop the word gender and say, all right, baby, what's my role in this relationship and what's yours?
I think that's more important.
Right.
The
So
role
like,
in your
but
relationship.
forget you me being a man and you being a woman. Like, forget Dennis Rodman being a power forward and Jordan being a shooting guard. What is our role in order for us to achieve
This championship.
this championship?
How are we gonna be the perfect team? What
Correct.
are you good at? What am I good at?
Correct.
What do I like to do? What do you like? What do I love? You know what I'm saying?
She may say, look, for the next year or so, I got this side business I'm trying to get off the ground so we can be in a better place financially. I need you to take over doing the laundry so I can have more time with being independent and being by myself and being alone. And as a man, you got to be submissive to that and say, you know what, this is for the team. This isn't just something that's beneficial to her.
And see, like, your wife has to understand who you are, right? Because my wife, her dad was hands-on with everything. If something breaks in the house, he's fixing it. Grass
That
getting
ain't
cut,
me.
he's out there. Like when I grew up in the project, so if something breaks, we call it maintenance.
Right.
I never had to mow lawn, so those aren't things that are in my regular lifestyle or regular. So in my marriage, there was a time where we beefed about that a great deal because her view of what a man was her dad. And my idea was, listen, it's not my job to cut the grass. It's my job to get the grass cut. So if I can pay $40 to have somebody come over here and cut, that's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
Now from her perspective, that was lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish you would be out there cutting the grass. Well, I'm not gonna be out there cutting the grass. And there would be a couple times where I would surprise her and go cut the grass, but I know I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can just kick out the bread. I make money so that I can have my time. That's two things
Oh,
you
yeah,
gotta
I
like.
believe in
Money
that.
and time,
I believe in
dog.
that.
You cannot get time back. We make money to give ourselves more
Right.
time. I make money so that I can pay somebody to cut the grass, so I can pay somebody to come clean the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do those things. So eventually that was something that my wife sort of began to understand. You know what I'm saying? But like, they have to understand that understanding your spouse's background is key.
It's the
It's
most
key,
thing.
dog.
That's kid. Like, y'all learned something.
Ask questions.
That's
You
crazy.
have to.
That's
We weren't
crazy.
raised like that.
That's crazy.
Like growing up,
Yeah,
they were just
like
like,
that.
hey, telling daughters, you just don't want to give up the goods this quick. But I'm like, yo, now at this age, if I ever was to have to, not be with my lady, I'm like, this next person, how was it coming up? You know what I'm saying? You want to know if it's daddy issues. You want to know how the family was.
Yeah.
You want to know how if she's insecure, has she been in any situations?
What was a priority in y'all's household, like
You
as
know.
far as athletics and grades and stuff like that?
What's
My
the
wife
support system
is-
like?
Dude, all of that.
abuse?
Yes,
You need
yes.
to know it all.
Verbally, mentally,
Because you can find all that out, like the way that a man or a woman, how they catch an attitude, what they're lacking in a relationship, how quick they blow up, how argumentative they are, and their background in childhood.
You know, I
A
think-
therapist asks you first in your session.
Yes.
Tell me about your childhood.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what we should do in relationships.
I think the one thing I learned from what you said is the biggest thing is like, whenever you're dating a woman, she has to, at that moment, almost not abandon it, but put it in the background of what she thinks a man is. Because she can't place the man her father was, her brother was, her uncle was on you. if that's not who you typically are, or who you are. You have to be true to yourself, and you have to be genuine to yourself, right? And so I relate to what you said, because that's exactly how I am. Like, if someone breaking the house, I ain't gonna fix it. I don't even know where to start. But I can hire somebody to get it done though. Like that's my skill. Whereas I did not go do what I do and make more money to get it done. I think overall, man, I think the issue is are the roles, the subtopics under being a man or a woman has a list of things you should or should not be doing. And I think you have to completely abolish that mentality, right? We have to completely say a man shouldn't be doing this and a woman doesn't have to do this.
No assumptions.
Well, no assumptions, right? I feel like whenever you get into a relationship, or before you even get into a relationship, you should automatically have it in your head that you wipe that whiteboard clean on what you should and what you should not be doing. And whenever you get into a relationship with somebody, you can have that conversation on saying, okay, what are our roles, right? Completely abolishing the gender part of it, but sticking strictly to how can we be successful as a team in order to achieve what we need to achieve.
Hey guys, I think on that's the ebook, one-on-one dating. That we just provided, put it in the course, and follow that thing.
Follow us on OnlyFans to learn how to date. We got an OnlyFans that'll teach you how to date.
That was a great point, Chico Bean.